We have gotten ourselves a couple of pictures of the actual filler bark dungeon that we are getting. Now, the first image we have here is an image of the inside of the filler bark dungeon, and this is, you can see this is like a stairway. There's the inside, there's paintings on the wall. It looks like a castle. It looks like the filler bark castle that they were inside when they fought Moria, and it looks very nice. And this is a dungeon that is coming, and I have a lot of evidence actually. Here's another picture that looks like a street. This street is like the destroyed street, like a forgotten street look like it looks like something like, you know, a ghost town almost. And the third we have is the outside of the castle, how the castle looks. And we have gotten this sneak peek before, but it was blurred. It was actually blurred, we couldn't see. And a lot of people, and I thought it was Midhog's castle, and some people thought it was Drum Island, which is not, obviously. But yeah, and I actually have like hardcore evidence proving why this is the filler bark dungeon. Look at this image right here. This is an image of traps. It looks like a bunch of, you know, guillotines, right? And these are traps. Now this is very interesting because in some Discord messages that Benir posted, he was talking about how in the new dungeon that he's creating for update 5 that he'd be adding traps and maces. Now doesn't this image looks a lot like traps to you? And so when you look at it and you say, oh, he's adding maces and traps to the dungeon, doesn't that mean that these two relate? And yes, they relate, because this looks like a castle of filler bark. And so why would they add new content to bark when they have said that Benir himself has said that he's going to add a new dungeon, and we have, you know, and he said that he's going to add traps to it, and in this image there are traps. That means this is the dungeon of filler bark, and it is coming. Before this, it was all speculation about a filler bark dungeon. Usually I usually guess, and it's usually right when I guess about what kind of content they're going to add, but this time I guarantee you that this was filler bark, and it seems to be, because this relates to the images and this relates to the messages they've been posting. The devs themselves have been talking about a new filler bark dungeon. This looks like it, and the messages kind of relate to this image. So as a whole, the filler bark dungeon, when is it coming, since it's almost basically confirmed, unofficially confirmed, I guess, since it's not official yet. But yeah, so he said that it's being added soon, and as a whole, I believe it may be coming in a month or 2 or 3. It can't be enough to where it's getting close to the next update, but it has to be in between that time. It can actually honestly come next week or tomorrow, but usually they take their time with this stuff. But it seems like the dungeon is already kind of finished map wise. Maybe they just have to work on the bosses, which they have been working on Oris and Perona. So we'll have to see. Now, if you want my honest opinions on the filler bark dungeon, the real honest opinions of me are that this dungeon is actually, I've been excited for this for the longest. This is probably going to be similar to the Cupid's dungeon, and it's probably going to be more difficult than the Cupid's dungeon. This is a permanent dungeon, so remember that it's not going to be as easy as the Cupid's dungeon, but at least I think it'd be a refresher from the regular dungeon, since with the wave system that really sucks a lot of, you know. And I'd rather, you know, experience a new form of dungeon that is you go through bosses and you get to experience, you know, different kind of NPCs that you fight, you know, since waves of mobs that hit you and shoot you down kind of get boring after like the 3rd, 5th wave. Now hopefully this comes out. As much as we hope and pray to God that this dungeon here is easier than the regular dungeon, and is similar to Cupid's dungeon in how fast we do it, it could really just be as, you know, long as the regular. It could be 10 minutes, and that'd be better, of course, but I mean, it could be 20 minutes or 30 minutes to beat this dungeon. Now hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully it's a faster dungeon, just like the Cupid's dungeon, which took like 8 minutes to 5 minutes, and hopefully that's the case. But as we all know, these developers, they do not like to give us, you know, they like to keep us in the game. They don't like to keep us, you know, leave the game after we have gotten our first whatever. So they want to keep us on for a long time. Now hopefully this one is faster than regular dungeons, but if it isn't, you know, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. But you have to just, you know, hope and pray that this is a faster dungeon than the regular dungeons. That's all we can take. So I want to say check the video I made yesterday where I was talking about the AFK area, which was added today actually.